Hey, welcome to Pondarosa Flying Ranch out here today in sunny Florida. And today we're going to do a review on the new Deming 007 Spy Copter from GearBest. Now, one of the things that I thought was unusual about this particular quadcopter, that most quadcopters this size uses a 3.7 cell battery. Now this particular battery, it is a hog, it is a brick, and it's running at 7.4, so that should really add some power to this little this thing is so tiny, but it feels heavy. And it also comes with a 2 megapixel HD camera, which should be interesting to see what this little camera will do. And also have the standard 4-channel controller, where simple operation is course off, on, throttle, yaw, forward, back, and left and right. And it's pretty standard as most of the other transmitters are. Now you do get a couple of extra things here with this kit. You do get a battery charger, 4 extra blades, and you get this cute little card reader here. Now this HD camera does come with a 4 gigahertz card, if I can get it out of here. There it is. Yeah, that's a 4 gig, and most of the cameras that do come with this thing, they do come with cameras, usually come with a 4 gig HD card, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to click that in there. There she goes. Now, one of the things that I really didn't like about this quadcopter, and you're about to see why, is this battery compartment here. And it's got a cord that comes out here, and this is such a huge battery. I found it kind of difficult once I got the battery in here to get these little wires pushed back down in there. I found it quite difficult. It's almost like they needed to expand that bay just a little bit. Let me see if I can get this thing in here, and I'll show you what I'm saying here. You can see you've only got a very, very tight space in here to try to monkey this cord down in there and get it stuffed down in there right. See, that's really putting a heck of a bind. I'm going to have to try this a different way. Let me pull this battery back out of here again. See, I'm going to try to stuff it way back underneath there to even be able to get this battery in here. I just didn't like that because it was a real pain in the neck to get this battery. There, finally. Yeah, you'll have to take the battery cord and push it as far as you can up this way, and then she locks in just like that. And you got some flashing LED lights. And it's got some flashing LED lights here on the front. So, now, we're going to move this out of the way here, and we'll do a test flight. See how this little Explorer does.
Got it right.
Alright, we're going to turn this copter into the wind here, and we're going to arm this thing. We arm it, bring it up, bring it down, do a prop check. Well, those little props sure do spin fast. They awful seem like they're awful small props, but we're going to see what this little copter can do. Alright, we're ready for go flight. Alright, first thing we're going to try to do is we're going to try to trim this thing. It seems to be floating to the left. Alright.
Hard to see in them trees, so keep it away from the trees.
Alright, let's see if we can get her trimmed. The throttle was very touchy. Trim a little bit more. Trying to get this thing trimmed here. Find that the throttle was very touchy. Alright. Wow, it's still drifting to the... Now another thing, and I found out now, it's very hard to trim this little copter. Okay, there it goes. Maybe one back to the right. All right. I guess that's about as good as it's going to get right there. Now, when you go to yaw this thing, now I'm not touching the stick in any way. I'm just trying to get a hover. Now, watch what happens when I yaw. Wait a minute, let me get it up here. Watch what happens. I'm just going to try a simple yaw. When you yaw it, it just wants to take off. It will not hold a stabilized yaw. That was one of the things I didn't like about this little quadcopter, is you can't do a standstill yaw on it. It just wants to take off. See that when I try to yaw it? Whoa. Where's it going? This thing, there we go. We'll take it out of beginner mode. Now see, it's wanting to. Alright, now I'm going to see if I can trim it again. Not wanting to go to the right too much. Very tough little quadcopter to trim out. See, I'm trying to keep it in one space, and it just don't want to stay there. And we have almost no breeze out here today. There it goes. Maybe trim it a little more. There we go. Okay. Okay, maybe now I've got it trimmed. Alright, let's take this little quad out. Just going to take it straight out. It's got about a 70-meter range. It sounds like a little buzzing bee. Okay, maybe I'm getting the hang of this thing. I definitely have to practice with this a little bit. Alright, let's go down here and try some turns with it. It's definitely, wow. I just tried to yaw the thing, and it will be the second flight of the Spy 007 Copter, and this time we're going to try to do some video. Now, like I said in the first part here, this quadcopter does not have a stable yaw, and this time we're going to take and see how the little HD camera. If you look right here, you can see a blue LED light on the camera, and when you push down on the throttle pitch, you can see, well, you can see the red LED, so that's where you know that you're filming. Alright, ready? And we're going to go ahead and film. Let me make sure that this, yep, it's on. So we actually are recording video now. So I am not going to yaw this quadcopter too much. I'm just going to take it straight out and straight back. Wow, that was unpredictable. Oh, I tell you, this is a little temperamental. See, it just wants to. It's got a mind of its own. Very temperamental throttle here. Wow, I'm giving it full throttle. Boom, it just hit the ground. Wow.
That's what you call chasing it more than you're flying it.
There we go. You can still see when we start this thing, it wants to tilt over. Now I'm at 0 adjustment here. You can see that definitely the copter wants to pull over to the right, and I am exactly on 0 pitch control. So what I'm going to try to do here before I ever take this off, a little bit more. Alright, that might be it. Huh. Alright. And He's on the ground again. Must be out of battery. I can't believe that was a very short flight. You seen it, folks, from the time that we flew it. Probably no more than 3 to 4 minutes. Now, I only ran the camera for what, 30 seconds. I'm not very pleased with this quadcopter right now. I'm not very pleased with it at all. But like I say, we'll have to give it the benefit of the doubt right now. But for right now, this review, I wouldn't recommend this little quadcopter. You know, especially if you're going to use this camera, because the flight time, apparently when I turned on this camera, reduced it greatly. And I know there was a fresh charge on this battery before we come out here. Maybe it just might be a bad battery. You never know. But as right now, I wouldn't recommend this little quadcopter from what I'm seeing right now. Simply because the battery was hard to get in there, in and out with the cords. When you try to yaw it in place, the copter just seems to veer off either to the right or to the left where it shouldn't. And thirdly, I would say the flight time on this quadcopter is extremely low, especially when we used the camera. That really ate up some battery. So as far as right now, I'm not really crazy about this 007. I figured it would be a better copter. I think it could do with a little bit bigger props. That may be the problem of the stabilization problems of this little copter. I'm thinking these props need to be a little bit bigger to give this little copter, because it is a heavy little copter, especially with that 7.4 I think it's a 400 milliamp battery, 500 milliamp battery. Let me see. Let's check it and see. We'll know for sure. It is a 400, yep, 400 milliamp battery. And it seems to be well built. I just believe that there's a little bit of stabilization problems that this thing has right now, because it did have a hell of a time trying to yaw in place. Alright, that concludes today's review on the DM Explorer 007 Spy Copter from GearBest.